Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my June reading wrap-up. In the month of June, I read a total of 6 books, so that's pretty good. I wish I read more, but alas, that is my monthly problem. If you guys don't know, I recently started a Bookstagram, so that will be linked below. Make sure you go follow that. And then I also have a TikTok where I post bookish content there too, so make sure you follow that. Just follow all my socials while you're down there. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and let's get into the 6 books I read during the month of June. Okay, so to begin, we have Heartless, which is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. This book is about Cade Eaton, who is the older brother to Rhett Eaton, who is in the first book, and the first book's female main character's best friend. Her name is Willa Grant, and she's kind of wild, that whole trope. And so anyway, Cade Eaton needs a babysitter for the summer, and who other than Willa Grant? And so this is kind of a grumpy sunshine, age gap, forced proximity, that whole vibe. So she has to live on his ranch with him over the summer while she takes care of his little boy, and they just have this whole like, oh no, we can't, but we should, but we can't. But yeah, I get this 4 to 5 stars. I thought this was fun. Elsie Silver, love her. I love Elsie Silver. I love Cade Eaton too. Can't wait to read more. So 4 to 5 stars for Heartless by Elsie Silver. Next book we have, I actually spun on my TBR wheel. Like I said, make sure you go follow my Bookstagram as well as my TikTok, because I'm doing a series where I spin my TBR wheel, which has over 100 books of my TBR, and it just picks for me. You guys get the gist, right? So the first book that it spun was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. There is a cat hair in my mouth. No one is shocked. So this book is about Alexis and Daniel, and it is big city girl, small town boy. She ends up running into him because her car breaks down at the very beginning in his town. They have a one-night stand. They both fall for each other pretty quickly, and it's just about them trying to figure out how they're supposed to merge their lives because their lives are so different. And she can't leave her job, her city, her family. He can't leave his job, his city, his found family. So it's just trying to navigate how this is supposed to work, if it even can, or if it's a scenario of maybe in a different life. This was the first Abby Jimenez book I've actually read. I know she's like a powerhouse of an author though, so I was really excited. I understand the hype. Daniel is the man. He's cool. I like him. 4 to 5 stars for Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Next, we have The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Let me just explain to you guys what this book is about because I didn't know, and you'll understand what I mean. Okay, so this book starts off with Phoebe arriving to this beautiful hotel in Newport, Rhode Island. And she arrives and there's a bunch of wedding people. So there's obviously a wedding going on. The entire hotel was booked out. She shouldn't even be allowed to be there, but something happened in the system and she ended up being able to book during the time of this wedding. And so anyway, the bride comes up to her and she's like, hey, are you on my family? Are you on his family? Like, what are you here for? And she explains, I'm not part of the wedding. I'm actually just here for myself. And she's like, well, what are you gonna do? And she says, I'm going to kill myself. So this book is kind of about her figuring out grief and her figuring out mental health and her finding a new friend because she hasn't really had friends and just kind of figuring out what is life. I want to let you know that I don't read the back of books, especially if they're really popular, because like I'm like, okay, they're good, like I'll read them. I thought this was like a meet cute, like a wedding meet cute. Obviously it's not. It's not. That's not why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars though, let the record show. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because the whole suicide premise and the whole mental health thing got cured for the main character within a week. Slight spoilers, but obviously you know how books go. At the beginning of the book, she's suicidal. That's the whole start of the book. And then by the end of the book, it's like she never had any mental health issues. That rubs me the wrong way. And the author like has come out and like talked about that, you know, mental health can't be cured overnight. But in this book it can. Also, I thought the formatting of the writing was really weird, and it's in third person, which isn't like a turnoff for me, but with the formatting of writing, it definitely was. Not what I was anticipating at all. Next, we have Wildfire, which I actually borrowed a copy of, so I'm just gonna have it floating around somewhere. This is the second book in the Maple Hill series. You're familiar with Icebreaker. This is the second book to that. I actually gave this 4 to 5 stars. My biggest beef with Icebreaker was how it was so smut driven, but it was laced with the idea that there was a plot. This book actually had a plot and not a lot of smut, so I was like, brava. So this book is about Russ and Aurora, who kind of know each other from school, like they hooked up one night, and then they end up being counselors at the same camp together. And so it's just them kind of navigating like, oh my gosh, I really like you, but camp counselor rules, we can't be together, you know, whatever. And then they both also have raging daddy issues, so that's a very big theme in this book. I think it was screaming summer, which is really what I needed. It was very obviously camp-esque. It was very, felt like a campfire Wildfire. It was very warm. It was very good. I just needed a summer read, and that was it for me. It wasn't too deep. It wasn't anything crazy, and the epilogue was great. So next was actually the first arc I've ever received. So like, don't need to brag, but it was called Infernal Hearts by Danny Haliwell. So this book, we have dual point of view. The one point of view is about a human character named Jason Blackwell, and he grew up dealing with the supernatural, helping his father, who is a doctor for the supernatural, and he decides he doesn't want to be in that universe anymore. So what does he do? He becomes a veterinarian. Second point of view is from Levi, who is an incubus, and is just a whole problem, as incubuses are. Jason decides that he doesn't want to be in the supernatural world, as I mentioned, and one night his father goes missing. Levi comes into town, said incubus, looking for his missing brother. Levi and Jason team up together to find their respective missing family member, and then I just smacked you guys, I'm sorry. And then they end up falling for each other, so, you know, that adds another layer. I give this book 3 out of 5 stars because honestly, if there wasn't spice in this, if there wasn't smut in this, this would be a YA. The plot wasn't deep at all. It was very straightforward. I do enjoy supernaturals, as you guys know, and like the paranormal and creatures and everything like that. I just said creatures, which is funny because my biggest beef with this book was the supernatural in it were called creatures. I don't know, that really rubs me the wrong way. That's just personal. I really like the supernatural in this, and the plot was cool, but it just wasn't deep. 3 out of 5 stars for Infernal Hearts by Danny Haliwell. And then we have our final book, the heart-wrenching finale, as of right now, to the Magnolia Park series, Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. This book actually took me a month to read, because no joke, the beginning, if you know, you know, I literally read and had to like take an emotional break from. I could not stop bawling my eyes out. I was so confused why people were all like, we need the next Daisy book, and like on Jessa about it. I was like, guys, you need to calm down. I understand now, because what was going on with Julian throughout this entire book. Anyway, she's pretty thick too. Anyways, this book is about, obviously, can't really talk about it much, what happens at the end of the last Magnolia book. And Magnolia is dealing with the loss and the grief and the trauma of all that. And her and BJ are just trying to figure out how to heal their relationship. So this is a lot of trauma, grief, healing. It's great to see. It's really great to see. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. Like I said, make sure you go follow my Bookstagram and my TikTok, where I post content there daily. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys all next month for my next reading wrap up. Bye, everyone.